This is the Hardball Gets AFL show. My name's Nick Rinn, joined by Xavier Ellis and Ryan Daniels. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Oh, it's an exciting day. We do like today's
projections.
themed podcast that was prompted by everybody stealing our idea.
This is right.
The best player for each club in 5 years' time with a wild throw at the stumps. And before we move on, I know you want to talk, Zave, but I was approached.
He's very eager.
I was out at Lathlane the other day.
Yeah.
I was
Am I allowed to talk yet?
doing an interview with someone at West Coast, and I was leaving. And a very concerned young gentleman approached me.
Yeah.
In the Lathlane coffee shop. He said,
Yeah.
Zave's broken. He's broken ranks. He's on the Dill Buckley podcast, projecting
I heard
forward
that.
5
Yes.
years. So I immediately went and had a listen, and yes, there he was.
He does it
our
right.
man jumping in, talking about Hawthorn and projecting their best player and all this sort of stuff, without a mention of the hardball.
I know, and have we had recorded already, had we?
So hang on, just
We've been
quiet
through
it,
this?
just quiet it down, just quiet it down. So this is actually what happened, and I'm not going to lie. You're allowed to borrow content from other podcasts.
with an acknowledgement would be nice.
Well, okay, that's funny. We'll get to that because last week you went after me about an acknowledgement that I didn't do. It was 8 o'clock on maybe Tuesday morning.
Okay, after we've recorded.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
We
no.
had these discussions.
So prime time radio.
Yeah.
So I'm actually working on air.
Yeah.
But when the blue and white little emojis come up, someone from North Melbourne calls. He's
True.
straight up.
As
Hi,
soon-
mate.
yeah.
Hi, mate.
Oh,
Yeah,
I better
what's
answer
going on?
Mickey's phone call.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mick's
So,
from
so
North Melbourne.
Mick, so Mick
Get
rings
kicked
me.
out of the tent.
Yeah.
Mick rings me, and I'm like, "What do you want?" I didn't even answer it. No, I was like, "What do you want?" It's 8 o'clock. You know I'm working. He goes, "You're working, are you?" It's like, "You know I am." And then I've listened to it since, and he clearly says before they rang me, he'll be on air. Let's ring him. Anyway, they rang me. Didn't tell me it was being recorded. Didn't tell me much background to it. And then it was just to resolve an issue for them between the Hawthorn last 20 years plus the 6 years going forward. Since 2000 going to 2030 with projection of 6 years. Mate, I can't do anything. I was thrilled to be on Dill's podcast. Dill's a star. Dill's a legend. Brett Delidio's a star. He got a good sense of humour too. I'm enjoying that.
One of my favourite all-time players.
Oh, geez, he was smooth.
It is a good point.
And Mick's just a cocksmack. But no, I
he's
was
your
on there.
cocksmack.
I was on there, and I gave my opinion. Had to ask for a slight edit because I might have been a bit. Anyway, it went to air, and it's good.
There was your opportunity, though,
You're like,
to just while you're on the phone,
funny
just
concept.
say, "Hey guys, love the concept. It was really good when we invented it."
yeah.
No. So why would I? Why would I, when I give any sort of kudos to you guys? Because when I do it, you still shit can me for not doing
so
it.
let's get into this.
You know, paint the picture about how you came at me last
Okay,
week.
so last week I was in at Triple M
Yep.
in the morning doing my regular segment, and as I'm just standing around chatting to the producers afterwards, my ears pricked up because they were doing their own conspiracy theory
I've
segment.
heard a bit of that concept. Sounds
and,
good.
and
Interesting.
talking it up as if it was this brand new, fresh idea. Now, I didn't hear any credit. I didn't hear any acknowledgement of the
Threw
Hardball
wild
Gets
accusations
podcast.
at me for stealing.
Through wild accusations at
Yep.
Zave. Now, he has since doctored some audio to make it sound like there is a credit. Do you have it there, Michelle?
Usually anyone that says they have a conspiracy theory,
Yeah.
I tend to sort of steer clear, step back, avoid and whatnot. Having said that, we've got a podcast, Hardball Gets, that do conspiracy theories every week.
You do?
And
You've got a regular
popular.
segment?
It's very, very popular, the conspiracy theory segment.
Can't stand conspiracy theories, but get onto Hardball Gets.
Yeah, I
We've
know.
got a conspiracy.
We've got a full segment on it. So having said that, I tend to tip.
So you
Now,
might
hold
pull
on,
that down
firstly,
because
do you-
is that hang on, Triple M sales? Yeah, you need to charge 7 West for that
Yeah.
mention. Yeah, you're right. I agree.
Do you record that show in the submarine that went to see the
Yeah.
Titanic? What is going on there? Look, clearly there's a credit there. I didn't hear it on
A
air.
long credit too. You pay
There's-
more for that.
Some chance that was doctored, Nicholas. Maybe it was after the fact. And maybe
Could have
he's-
been.
So
he's
I'm
thought-
clean as a whistle. Yes, I was on Dill's podcast.
But
Love them.
Also, we don't think Zave has the technical skills to doctor the
No,
audio, do we?
absolutely
It's
not.
just, this is all where it
Having
falls
said
down.
that, do you ever listen to and this? A lot of people will know what we're talking about here because a lot would listen to Bernie Vince's Nuffy of the Week.
Yes.
So you know how Embers is on there with the unprecedented,
Yeah.
unprecedented, and they get. I doctored that. I chucked a few more stumbles on the back of
Right,
it.
just to add some mayo.
Yeah, it mayoed it right up. Maybe an extra 30%, 40%.
Great.
Anyway, Embers, we played it back to us. Oh, shit, is that what I sound like? He didn't even know, and he still doesn't even know. He doesn't know I've played around with it. So, yeah, we love that. But
Yes, so we.
so I'm free. I'm guilt-free. Happy as Larry. I've
going
done my
well.
credit.
Going
Love
well.
being on Dill's Potty. Who do you want me to start with?
Let's go, Nicholas, because
Oh, no.
this is really alarming.
This really
You
was.
and I have been put towards some vision of our man, Nicholas Rinn, going down to a local footy club.
Snezzer.
His famous
Snezzer.
footy club.
Snezzer. We love
Yeah.
Snezzer because they're very quick to tag.
Well, I
us
used to
into
love.
gear.
I used to love Snezzer.
He talks Snezzer up big time.
Big,
as
we
if he
president
was
down there.
Yeah,
President.
it was for 3 years.
Yeah.
2 flags.
And if you've been listening long enough, you would have heard of his stories about how big collisions.
Yeah,
that he's
Jaws
had,
and
and all these
Hard
moments
and
that he's
under.
had in footy.
hard.
Now, I saw the vision that you
Oh.
pointed to me toward, and that they tagged us in. I don't know how best to describe it.
No,
Oh.
I can tell you how best to
So
describe it.
maybe you describe
I
yourself
was-
first
okay,
before I
Give
come in.
your own
So-
point
Okay,
of view.
because should we put the vision up on the
It's
socials?
dead. It's gone forever.
No, it's not. I've got
Yeah,
it.
we've got
I've
it.
screen recorded
No,
it.
we've got it.
So when I say I can't run anymore, I can't run because my back's so cooked.
You really can't.
I really can't. Like if I stride
Yeah.
out, my back goes within hours.
Yeah.
So I go down there because I did this last year as well. They have an old boys night. Last year I went down there.
If
straight
I was you,
out
I'd be piling
and
into
was-
yourself right now. I wouldn't be defending. I'd just
Mate,
pile into
Because
yourself.
we're going to come.
I was so cool. I genuinely looked like I felt running out there like I was a
Don't about
75-year-old.
feeling. What did you look like?
Well,
to
these
the
are,
eye. To the eye.
70 felt like a 75-year-old with an old man shuffle
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I saw the stories, and I looked like a 110-year-old
Yeah.
man who can't get near.
Nah,
and if
you-
I'm out there shuffling around, maybe just try to hit me on the tit
So,
because I can't turn or move.
but people don't read the ball in the air.
Mate, I was out already, and then he's come. I was there.
Don't-
clear.
no, don't
just hit
put-
me up.
no.
Don't just
No.
read the ball.
No, no,
Well,
no.
I can't move back either.
You can't
But
put
just-
this on the other bloke.
No.
Mate,
you are a disgrace.
I'm out already because I know I can't get off the mark. So I'm there in space.
No, I shouldn't.
I just need to be hit.
We should not be heckling Nick because footy's trying to grow the game, and quite clearly Nick's never
Yeah.
played.
That
was hard. That
you
was
know,
bad.
That was confronting. I really felt like, and I was out there shuffling around, and I was like, I feel fucked.
How does-
But
but it
then
looked
I
even
saw it
worse.
looked even worse.
It looked as
It
if
looked worse.
we'd
Yeah.
gone down to the local old people's home
It really did.
and found a man who had just come over from Hungary
Yeah.
and was shuffled into this old people. And we said, mate, we'll give you $500 if you can pretend to play footy for 20 minutes. That was disgraceful.
was
That was
horrible,
the worst
mate.
display of football.
Is the man from Hungary dead or alive? Because
Yeah,
I
he's-
actually reckon my dead grandfather, if I dug him back up and rolled him out, would have sat under that peel.
he's
It
been-
showed more coordination than you out
No,
there.
he's already been tortured by the communists for a while before he heads out there.
Disgraceful.
Mate,
Are
that
we gonna
was-
Are we gonna put this up?
This case has to die.
Nick.
Where's the set?
Let me check.
Can I get a
He's-
hands
we've
away in the
we've
second
still
one?
got it.
Do you know what the problem is? There were like 2 or 3 kicks that I absolutely hit so
who
sweet.
was behind the camera?
Oh, Rafik. And my ex-friend.
We still got it.
Oh,
There
he
we
does
go.
have it. Oh, no.
There he is.
Look at this shuffle. See, and then the blokes.
No, here it is.
Come on.
Yeah.
And then just.
Oh no! Even Michelle's laughing.
See, I can't get back. Look how slow I am to move.
It's a
Oh, fuck, that
disgrace.
looks horrible.
That's the worst football of anyone's ever played.
No,
Here's
there's
what he
worse.
said.
Don't worry,
He's
there's
put
worse.
his head. He goes,
Oh, mate.
That looks horrible.
It looks
He
horrible.
knew.
Oh, I
Damn
think we have to post it,
What about
though.
the next one where he's pointing as if like I'm leading here?
Yeah, mate. You got to put it there.
That's the worst
Oh,
vision I've ever seen.
They would have been. So there would probably. I would say
It's so good.
there would have been 5 around the similar, but 5 like that, and then maybe 3 really good ones. Just catch a good one, Raf. For God's sake.
Gives the hands and off he goes. Oh, mate.
He's
Mate,
moving.
it used to be a safe space.
What are you doing out there though?
It's the old boys.
You can't move.
Yeah, I know.
He
I
has
What are you
actually
stitched
can't
up.
move.
He has
He
stitched up.
stitched me up. It used to be a safe space. You know,
That's
you
not
get up.
anymore.
All the old boys come down for it after like an
A
evening.
trot, yeah.
I'll just go, look, yeah, I can't move, but I really enjoy just kicking the footy. And it's a safe space.
Zave, you
Not anymore.
were surprised by this, but as I said to you this
I
morning,
was shocked by it. I was actually shocked.
I was
No,
not
I
as
threw my
surprised.
phone out the car when I was looking at it. I couldn't have it in my car.
I have experience in this space with Nick because I did ask him to come down a couple of times and play AFL 9s as a filly.
Mate,
Oh,
I
yeah.
cannot move.
And my goodness, it was only slightly better than that. It was marginally better.
But slightly
Oh,
better is all you
just-
need.
you know when you get a fill in and everyone goes, "Oh, is he any good?" Oh, no,
He'd be right, he'd be
no,
right,
he's
he'd be
footy.
right.
No, just
Yeah, no,
didn't get another
no
red
good.
light back
No
after
good.
that.
Right,
This is
just-
what happens when you grow up playing front row and wing in rugby league.
yeah,
You don't have
here
no
we go.
transferable
I
skills.
wouldn't attach wing.
If you mate.
You
Ring,
can.
you just
I've
have
just,
to catch it.
Yeah, I know, but
Well,
I just
no.
saw that.
Once upon a time, I was marginally faster.
So is the snail.
I used to
accident
actually
that
be
I
able to
watched
lift
this
my
morning.
legs up.
Oh God.
Once upon a time, no longer.
It's amazing.
Oh, that was funny.
Anyway, so we were considering at one point doing a live show as some kind of fundraiser for Snezza. That's off the table.
Oh,
I just want to table
No,
that
now
That's
it's
done.
really on
That's
the
down in
table.
the water.
yeah, they were doing it at the Wembley Hotel.
Yeah. You've
We're
got to-
on.
You've got to do a live performance of that.
But so you had a bad week, but then also I got up on Saturday morning. Wife and kids are in Broome.
Here we go.
I've jumped up out of bed, went for a run, ate my my Nutri-Grain, all that sort of stuff, soda water. Opened the paper up and I hear Ryan. I always go to Rhino's articles.
Yeah,
First
yeah,
thing
yeah.
you read.
Because assuming one thing, and we'll get to the team, but we all know the team we're
we know
talking
which
about.
team we're going to be talking
We
about.
know what team we're going to talk about. The headline. Why Freo flag talk may not be crazy after all.
Well, I
30
don't-
minutes later, they've lost by 70.
I don't write the headlines for starters, and I'm not sure if you can actually read more than 8 words.
No, I
so I'm not
didn't.
sure if you read the
No, I
actual.
didn't read any
You
of
didn't
it.
read the article.
Not a second. No.
I know
'Cause-
you didn't, because you
'cause-
would have laid into me for other things.
Yeah,
too.
okay. Do I need to quickly read it?
No, don't. I will say this.
Okay, let me have a look.
2 things. When I wrote it, I was so tired. I was delusionally tired because I'd done him a solid and filled in for him on Friday so he could sort his dog
Yeah,
situation
yep,
out.
yep.
Very sad story there. The flying dildo that you call it. Is it dildo?
Tildo.
Tildo.
T, not D.
It's pretty close.
I know, deliberately close.
So I'd filled in for him. I'd got up at 4 a.m. I normally go write my article Friday morning. I was so tired in that. I was in the coffee shop for 4 hours. I
Yeah.
couldn't write. My brain was so messed up that at some point I ended up writing a song in there. There's a song in that article.
So I clearly didn't. I clearly
I
haven't
lost
read
my
it.
damn mind. But very disappointing performance.
No,
from
we'll get
Fremantle.
to them. But I just thought
Very
I thought the headline was funny.
Look, if they'd won, I would have looked like a genius.
Yeah, you didn't know
'Cause
they lost.
Just really poor timing. For Fremantle.
Yeah.
I actually curse them every time. Anytime I write a positive Fremantle article,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they
So
lose.
I
Absolutely.
didn't
But you
know
can't
about the
help
article
yourself.
at all. I was down at the Scarborough
Someone
Sporty,
sent it to you.
and my group chat, not one, but quite a few, was like, X, I'd love to know Rhino's thoughts on this right now. And as it got worse and worse and worse, more people were sending it to me, sending it to me, sending it to me.
No. You'll notice I didn't post it anywhere.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the result.
You know, it does curse them whenever you write it, but what are you going to do when, Garlo and Fife and everyone sends you a text? Be
I
like,
know.
hey, I reckon it's a week, Ron. I just need a bit of a
piss
pump up,
off.
mate.
Yeah.
You
Piss
know,
off.
it
We'll
was
get
a
to
solid-
Freo. As Em's away, I'm just going to have
Well, we
a
don't-
can of single
Well,
fin.
we're not actually talking big issues here.
No.
Yeah.
This is 5-year projection.
Actually, Fremantle.
Yeah.
So we're going to
funnily
do 2
enough-
minutes on
Notice
the
I
spot.
picked the week where Fremantle was
Yeah.
at a shocker.
No,
to do
because
this.
I want to touch on a topic.
We can't. You can talk about now. You want
Okay, I want to talk about it now.
Yeah, go on.
What's your topic?
Here we go.
I've got a new business idea.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so it's going to be an offshoot of my old
headphones are off.
on my old online my gambling business. Excellent odds. It's called extremely independent, and this is my cap I put on. Right, it's got an X on it.
Oh, this is a thing.
Yeah, so extremely independent. Now I work for all 18 footy clubs. Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday. I'm at home. This is my business I'm about to start. The head coach rings me, and I am so independent. I just give them all honest feedback. So, for example, Big Nixie rings me from Adelaide. G'day, Nicky. What's going on, buddy? Yep, good. Yep. We're thinking this week against Sydney, we might go head-to-head with Rory Laird and Chad Warner. And I say, look, I know you love Lairdy, but his 10 out of 10 at the moment is a 7 out of 10 Chad Warner. That's not going to work.
Right.
So you're overrating Laird. Okay. No good. So you've got young Michael Lenny in there. So let's get him to play on Chad Warner as a tag.
Are you saying this is what you did on the week?
No, this is the idea.
What you would have done.
So Michael Lenny, we chew the fact, right, so we're going to have Michael Lenny to Chad Warner. I say, yep, because your midfielders aren't as good as you think they are. You think they're good because you all sit around a table rubbing each other's shoulders.
Give me another
It's
example.
also the best.
Give
of
me
the-
another- give me another example.
Adam Kingsley rings me on the weekend.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Guys.
Tom Green's going to go head-to-head with Zach Butters. I say, woo. No, he's not. Because Zach Butters is better than Tom Green.
Oh, geez.
He's going to at the
flesh and
moment.
blood.
At the
His own
moment.
flesh and blood.
At the moment, well, you stop Butters over you stopping Tom Green. Okay. So anyway, we say, right, what are we going to do? How are we going to go head
He
to
just
head
wants
here?
to make you proud, Dad.
And I say, look, who got a good running ability? And we go, oh shit, Brett Daniels is back in the side. Toby's in good form. Could we use Bedford? We could use Bedford. Then all of a sudden, Bedford goes to
Yeah, we get this.
Butters.
Where is he going with this?
So Fremantle ring me,
Here we go.
and they say,
this is
right,
Here it is.
we're going to the Docklands. We've got Western Bulldogs.
Yep.
Say, right, what's the plan? We've got a good midfield. We've got Youngie and Brayshaw and Sarong. So, yeah, they're brilliant players, great players. So, what about Bontempelli? His best is...
He's got the flu.
Yeah, he's been 4 times best on ground of the last 7 games you've played. I reckon we... Bontempelli. Say, no, I reckon Hayden Young. And then I come in and say, look, we love Hayden Young and the direction he's going, but his very, very best is an 8 out of 10 Bont. Bont's 10 out of 10, and they win the game.
Right.
Done.
Right.
So I say, nah, it's not happening.
So what do you do?
So I say, look, maybe we've got a sub 5, and then we can bring in a tagger. Or Youngie just tags and sacrifices his game for the day. Done.
Right.
And then they say, right, so Youngie's had 12 possessions for the game, but Bont's only had 15.
Okay.
And we win the game.
So all I'm hearing here...
Teams overrate their midfielders
Nicholas.
so much, and they need an independent person.
Nick, all I'm hearing here is that Xavier Ellis thinks he knows more than every coach in the AFL. That he thinks that he is that good at sussing out this stuff. That he thinks every coach should be ringing him on a Wednesday and saying, Zave, got a tough matchup against Geelong. How do we win?
No, and then
Zave
what
gives
you
you
say?
this little thought bubble, 6 cans deep,
Yeah.
and everything works out beautifully.
No, so you got Geelong. So I'd say there's no midfielder to tag there. Play on. Head to head, you beat them.
So is
You've
it
got
mainly about tagging?
It's mainly
just mainly about
tagging and
tagging.
matchups.
the tag hotline.
It's the tagging hotline.
Yeah,
That's what it's called, the tagging hotline.
Yeah.
It's the tagging hotline. And I'm the man that you come to for the tagging hotline because I'm obsessed by taggers at the
so
moment.
if any AFL coaches are listening to this,
Yeah. So
Zave-
Lockie, g'day Roscoe.
I don't think Ross needs you. I think he's
He
tagging
loves
anyway.
it. Yeah, he
He's
was on the
tagging
hotline
anyway.
early.
Right.
He was hotlining last month. We're on the hottie last month.
Okay, so if anyone's listening and you're
it up.
unsure of what to do this weekend, this is your man.
The taggers hotline.
How do they get your number? If you get, is it
Everybody's-
1-300?
everybody's got
1-300 tags.
Tag 1300. Tag for a day. It's not a full-time job.
Okay.
It just might be for the day.
Oh, just a tag for a day.
Tag for a day.
Okay.
Well, it's like a consultancy, right?
It's a
You just
consultancy.
dial in. It's an hourly rate,
Yeah,
or is it like on your retainer?
No, hourly rate. You just
Yeah,
get me
okay.
for one. Because, as you said, like
That's
Hawthorn.
the arrogance.
So who
Although, what if a club wanted to come in and
So
pay
Simo.
you on a retainer to
So
like
Simo,
exclusivity?
Simo hits me for this week, and you say, right, done the form, Simo.
Essendon. Yeah.
Jimby, Merritt, done. Hang up. Oh, do we need more? No, you don't. Jimby can't beat Merritt, so he needs to stop Merritt. You need to stop him. Oh, thanks, X. No worries. You've called 1-300 tag for a day.
Yeah,
And
mate,
you want-
mate,
and this
you're underselling
guarantees
yourself on an
result?
hourly rate
This
there.
Guaranteed result.
Guaranteed result. As in guaranteed West Coast win.
No, the best chance of winning.
Okay.
So, like Sydney, Sydney weren't
need a
going
writer
to,
there.
Adelaide weren't going to beat Sydney.
It's a small print.
Adelaide weren't going
We're not
to beat Sydney,
responsible.
but taking Warner out of the game for 2.5 quarters certainly helped.
Gave him a crack. Yeah.
St Kilda only just got pipped by Brisbane.
No, mate, they were getting flogged.
They only just got pipped by
They were
Brisbane.
getting flogged.
Just got pipped by Brisbane. Windhager, Lockie Neal, unsighted.
They were getting flogged.
Was there another one?
McLuggage had about 40, by the way, while that was happening.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
He doesn't hit the side. He doesn't
Oh, here we
just
go.
kick
Okay,
points.
that's fine. He doesn't come into
All
the
right.
consultant.
Okay, this is the longest intro to a
Don't
show
worry
we've
about
ever
it.
had. Okay.
Well, I didn't
Yeah.
realise
What's
we weren't
the
doing any
Howard,
topics.
Tag for a day.
Tag for a day.
Okay. All right. Why did you
Okay.
actually change hats?
It was in my car, my golf hat, X on it.
But
I
you-
did wonder.
Oh, right, because the whole X. thing.
Yeah.
Jeez, you're a flog.
it was on my driver's seat from golf during the week. I was like, oh.
World-class flog.
And now I'm going back to
Two
be lone
hats,
wolf.
Ellis.
Now we've got a new order. We've got an order.
We have an order. Someone sent us an order.
Nicholas,
So
yes.
we'll go through it and then.
See,
guess
I
at the
didn't
end what it
realise. I
is.
thought it was a side product of also the normal
No,
2-minute
just-
warning.
No, we have time to do that.
There's so many teams that did not play.
Yeah. Come on. The order.
All right, let's kick it off with Essendon.
So we have to guess the order at the end.
Yeah,
Essendon
Okay,
is
so
first.
Essendon's first.
It's me. Just gotta get me notes up one
So
second.
now remember, 5 years projected, plus you get a throw at the stump. So who we think will be the best in 5 years, and then a random like, oh geez, you never know, this guy could be anything.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Okay, so in 5 years' time at Essendon, I've gone Durham. I think we're pretty happy with that, aren't we? In the midfield as their best
How
player.
old will Zach be?
He'd be too old.
Okay.
Too old.
Yeah, he'd be what,
Nick
32,
Martin.
33.
Yeah, Durham. Yeah,
Yeah, Durham.
I think that's
Is it Durham?
pretty.
Durham.
Durham.
Really, you're sold on that. I'm not
Yeah,
sure
I
I'm
am.
sold on that.
I'm sold.
All right.
Sold.
Okay.
He was a winger last year, a bit of forward, half forward.
Yep.
This year, mate, he's nuts and bolts inside.
Okay.
He's strong. He's powerful. He's absolutely everything you need in a man.
Any contenders?
Not really, Essendon. They're pretty
So
thin.
Nick Martin would be what, about 26,
Yeah,
7
nah.
at that
Oh,
point?
I'll tell you who I've got a
Yeah,
rogue roughie.
Is this your throw at the stumps?
Yeah, but he's paid massively. But I think we just ignore that he's there. I reckon Ben Mackay could be the best standalone defender in the competition.
You reckon?
In 5 years. He'll be
How old
30.
is he now?
He'll be 30, 20, just turned 26.
So he'll be 31.
31, yeah.
Key defenders aren't
Yep.
too bad at that old
I think
stage,
he'll
are they?
be, as a
Jeez,
throw at
what
the
an
stumps.
inspiring start
Yeah.
we've had here. This is but this is
Okay,
why I
well,
love
well,
this.
what have you got for
No, no,
Essendon?
no.
There's no kids.
Well,
This
what
is-
about the
I was just
unicorn?
gonna say,
Throw out-
this
throw
is
out
why I love it.
Nah,
What's his name?
Because
Cox.
what it
Yeah,
does,
he hasn't really
Nah.
done anything.
it demonstrates what's in the cupboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're Essendon and you're going, Sam Durham is their best
Concerns.
player in 5 years, and Ben Mackay is the throw at the stumps.
Well, that's a throw at the stumps because I think we all just
Well, what's
waved
the-
it goodbye at North Melbourne.
Can
Like,
you
that's
do-
over. But if he becomes the best defender in the competition, it's an unbelievable deal.
Can you
don't-
do the throw at the stumps as in a, like, let's say Harley Reid has a strong connection to Essendon
No,
through the
no,
process?
no,
Is
that's-
that a throw at the
that's
stumps to say
fanciful.
that could...
No,
yeah,
that's
well,
fanciful. That's
we haven't heard any news of the new contract yet. We're still waiting.
Well,
Mate.
we're waiting for Tommy Morris to get his Twitter back to get onto that one. But, like, so you
Get
look
through
at
Rhino's
it.
luck with
protection.
that.
So really
Good luck with that.
quickly, you look at the kids. Hobbs, Caldwell, it's Cox, Perkins,
I'm just imagining. You
the-
know,
Harrison Jones.
Sardis. They're not going to be your
there's
best
no one
player.
there.
Are they
Just
going to be your best
imagining
player?
Tom Morris logging into his account. You know Jurassic Park with that Dennis Nedry guy? Like, you didn't say the magic words. Jurassic Park.
I don't know that reference.
When they try to log back in and the guy's got a little animation of himself. The big fella who gets spewed in the face by that little dinosaur. Do you guys not know? Oh, you don't watch movies.
I love Jurassic Park, and I still don't know what you're talking
You
about.
know Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park?
Oh.
No.
The guy who takes the money and has the Newman.
Oh, Newman. Yeah, okay, Newman.
Yeah, and he pops up.
I love how he knows
Yeah.
Dennis Nedry, as if anyone knows that.
Do you know why now it makes sense? The vision I saw at Snezza?
Yeah,
Because of
watching
this stuff.
movies. I remember Dennis
Shout out to the
Nedry-
Snezza Footy Club. You found two supporters over the
footy,
weekend.
Until you see the vision, the best way to
Don't worry.
describe it is, it was the footy version of that.
Yeah.
Whatever that was, that's as close as we
How do you
All right,
know
who's the
that? Come
second
on.
team?
Next up is the Doggies.
I don't have that.
Which is me.
Essendon
So,
and
best
the
player in
Bulldogs.
5 years. After the last game that I saw him play, got to be Sam Darcy. I don't think there's
Ooh.
anyone that combines that kind of height and.
Well, there's one that
ability.
plays in his team
So
that
there
does.
was two guys in that team that you could have gone with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I went Darcy over. Was you thinking of
Jamara.
Hugo Hayward?
Yeah.
No, Darcy's got more. I think
Interesting.
Darcy's so long that he can just outmark people standing still.
Yeah.
So
and
Darcy
he does
will
it.
be, what, 25
He'll be
at
25.
that time? And Hagen will be 26?
26,
you know?
27, yeah, he'd be a little bit older. So
But she
that's
looked
right.
good on the weekend, Jamara, by the
did.
way.
He
Like
did.
those full. How tall is Jamara? I think he's 200.
199 or something.
Is it like once he puts those arms up,
Would you have gone Jamara or Darcy?
I would have gone Jamara.
So would I.
But just I have hopes that Jamara could be the best player in the competition levels.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know why, and
I've
I-
had
and-
small, like, I've probably jumped off that slightly.
No, so have I. Slightly, yeah, I
Yeah.
have as well.
No, but if you said here's 10 guys, you'd pick him as one of the 10.
Yes.
As a long
Yeah,
shot.
yeah. But Darcy would be in that 10 as well.
Yeah.
197.
He's so big.
yeah.
And I liked it how angry he was. That's the other
Yeah.
thing that
Yeah,
makes
I
me
do
think
like
he'll get
that,
When
there.
yeah.
Bevo put his head on the pillow, he wouldn't have been upset that he mixed up
No.
Maynard.
No.
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 He wouldn't have been upset.
No.
Did
Particularly
anyone
at this
ever
stage.
bring up, like, football act and stuff? Like, I feel like that was a thing lost in the Maynard thing. It's like, why don't you just
So
go and
who's
argue
your,
it's football act?
who's your wild throw at the stumps?
A wild throw the stuffs for the Western Bulldogs is a 33-year-old Marcus Bontempelli. Like, he'll
Yeah.
still just be the best player in the competition.
He
at
could be.
33.
I was going to say, I'm not,
Yeah.
who's going to say he's going to be done in 5
Yeah,
years?
I know. He's not like
What a
33 is
timely,
not
what a timely
unbelievable.
reminder to how good he
Oh.
is.
Oh, yeah.
Full of
I mean,
game.
we see it 6 times a year where you go like that's just off his head.
Yeah.
That goal that he kicked, the 3-on-1 in the goal
Oh, it's
square,
freakish.
just incredible.
I still think he's the best player in the game. I know
Yeah.
Nick Dacos is there and Heaney's
Oh,
there and
Bontempelli's-
Warner's there.
no,
and
no.
I still think it's the Bond. When he's up and going, like, if you're picking one guy,
Yeah.
I don't think
like,
there's
let's
anyone
line
better.
him up in the schoolyard, that old thing. Who are you taking first?
Probably is Bond.
It's
yeah.
Bond.
It's Bont, yeah.
Because imagine him standing there too. You'd just be like,
And when he
"Look at the
does,
size of
yeah,
him."
when he
Look at
does
that.
rest forward,
Yeah.
he can kick like
He's
like
the
grand
first
final.
draft pick.
Yeah,
He's the
yeah.
first pick.
Nah,
in
he
that
is.
scenario.
He is.
Riley Sanders could have been you.
Yeah, and also through as a real smoky, like Arthur Jones can evolve into like a crafty
Nah,
mid.
Nicholas.
that's a throw up the stumps.
Nicholas.
That's a
Yeah.
real throw to stumps,
Nah,
mate. You
that's-
told me to throw the
Nah,
stumps.
that's some snazzer stuff there.
But
that's
side note, Sanders socks down, by the way. He's
Yeah,
giving
noticed.
away the old stiff.
Good.
stiff thing.
Next one is Freo.
that's me, of
Oh,
course.
I was shocked.
Of course, it's me.
Who else could it be?
So when we do this exercise, we notice a few different versions of things, right? There's the one where kind of Essendon where we're like, oh, geez, there's not much in the cupboard there. In 5 years, they're going to be in a bit of trouble and they don't start going young. Then you go to the other one, the other angle, and you're like, whoa, there's a
Who
few
is it?
options there.
Yeah.
So I'd landed on Sarong. He'd be 28. you'd think he'd be in his prime, might have a Brownlow by then.
What's his ceiling? Like, I know it's a star, but like
His ceiling is Brownlow medalist.
Yeah.
If I said that
but
Sarong's
Cripper, Ollie Wines, they're not the best. They're not
Nah,
the
he's
Bontempellis.
higher than Ollie
Yeah.
Wines. I would have him higher. So if I said to you, Sarong's going to finish his career with a Brownlow, 6 All-Australians and 3 BNFs, you wouldn't be
huge.
surprised.
Yeah, okay.
That's the kind of career.
Yeah,
I
all
think he's
Australians
in.
are half the midfielders because there's so many.
There's
good
so
ones.
many of them. So if you
Yeah.
get 5 or 6, you're going pretty
Yeah,
well.
very well.
So I had him. Jackson was the one I was tossing up. It was
You were toying with it.
toying with Jackson because he's still so young. He's only 22. And typically with those big boys, we don't really see their best till they're 24, 5. So there's a lot of scope to improve. The blockage, and you'll love this, the blockage is the Darcy thing. It's right. How can we get to the ceiling of Jackson?
Sorry,
while
I missed that.
No, that's just an individual thing. I still think that the best thing for Fremantle is having them both. But
As
if,
an individual
but
player.
if you just were saying what's the best way to get
Yeah.
Jackson's 100% unlocked, it's probably Darcy not me.
Okay.
So I'd
don't
still
know,
take
that's split.
the 85 of Jackson with the 85 of Darcy.
That split on the weekend, and I've done that a few times. That
Now,
was probably perfect for him.
You could have talked me into
Jackson.
English got the chocolates on the weekend.
Yeah, no, but for him, like where he can go and have an impact forward and have an impact in
Yeah.
the ruck. Like
the
he's-
other options. A Toyd,
Yeah.
a Toyd again with Hayden Young.
Yeah.
He'll be 28.
Did you want a little bit more from Hayden Young this year?
He's had a patch.
Yeah,
Some games are
no,
gonna be
not
more.
more, but like,
It's a new role.
you know, I love Hayden Young, and I probably would have him almost at 1 too.
Would you? Yeah.
I'd love them to do a little bit of like, let's get Youngie. You know, like Nick Martin runs past and gets the easy kick,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
not a great kicker.
Give it
So-
to him.
Just give it to him.
My throws at the stumps. I had a couple: Jai Amos
Yeah,
and Matt Johnson, and then Heath Chapman. Oh, I
like
love
Heath Chapman.
his name's half the list.
Well, they're all
Come
so
on, mate.
young.
They're all
They're
so
all
good, yeah.
young. This is what I'm saying. That you could have 4 of these blokes, and
next-
I left some out.
Who?
Big Gona. Andy Brayshaw.
Next up is Adelaide. That's me again.
Jordan
The
Clark.
best player in 5 years. This is where we talked about, they're actually...
Is
it's
this Adelaide?
Not, yeah,
Oh,
it's
no,
not, the
Adelaide
cupboard is
trouble.
Not chockers.
So what does the cupboard look like?
It's
Bare.
not great. It's pretty bare.
Well, we know who the best is going to be in 5 years.
Well, who
Or Rankin.
Yeah, but he'll be 30.
Rankine.
Maybe 30.
Rankin will be 30 by then.
And
or
as
29, 30.
As a twitchy guy.
Yeah, that was my concern. Like, this is his prime.
Yeah, no, I reckon he could go forward and do Eddie Betts sort of stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Play
Yeah.
that Betty Betts pocket.
Yeah.
and
But he's the
just-
best best through the middle.
So is he
as
your
well.
choice?
He's not. So he's
No,
not.
he didn't go it.
Surprisingly, I didn't go. Well, he's just 29. So I just
Got
threw
it out
someone
there.
who's going to be 26 years old.
Soligo. It's got Soligo.
Nah, it's the thriller.
Oh.
Filler. Riley Thilthorpe.
Yeah.
Based on all of the things you've seen? Or?
That's right.
Snezzer.
No, based on
Based
so
on
his preseason.
significant body of work. The pre-season.
Well,
You
no,
loved it that
'cause
much.
so he's not. So he's split
He read
between
that-
forward and
the
ruck.
2 articles he read on news.com
Yeah.
about Riley Thilthorpe having a good
'Cause he was
pre-season.
big. No, we saw there were moments in the preseason we thought.
No,
oh,
I think
he's
he
ready
did.
to
He did have a
take
good
the next
He
step.
did have a
one
good
good
one.
practice game or
Massive
something,
good
did he?
one.
Yeah.
And he's bigger, like he's ready now, and he's
He's
a key
training,
forward.
yeah.
He's 3 or 4 years into his career.
Number
he's got
2
talent.
draft
He's
pick.
number 2 draft.
I
pick.
would have said that's a throw at the stumps.
Yeah, I would have gone throw up the stumps.
Well, and what a 30-year-old?
I'd love
Yeah.
to see what's his throw at the
Best?
stumps going to be.
Yeah, oh, God.
Mate, we'll go for
Oh,
it.
here we go.
Mark,
No, someone.
that's
who-
some
trying to guess.
Irishman.
Mark Keane, the Irishman.
Nah,
Mark Keane.
Michelini.
Oh,
Michelini.
oh, boy,
Michael
Michael
Annie.
Yeah, Michael Annie. Just as a, maybe
did a bloody good job
potentially
on the
a
weekend.
midfielder.
Well, not potentially. Last 2 weeks
Well,
he
he's
played there.
190
couple.
centimetres running through
Michael,
there.
Dan Curtin would be a throw at the stumps.
Well,
High
was he
draft
gonna be
pick.
there?
Well, there's a few.
I'd
Soligo,
like to see Dan Curtin playing.
it would be nice.
Yeah, I thought
I
the
think
league.
now,
but
I
you
think now
want-
that it's either.
Play him.
Well,
Oh,
he's,
yeah,
he-
just play
But
him.
like he's either so far off it
Yeah, so what
and
is it?
unplayable
Yeah,
or playing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if he's player number 27, people think best 22s get picked every week. That's
They
so
don't.
wrong.
No, they don't.
But they throw
Yeah.
in kids that are nowhere near it to
Yeah,
give
yeah.
them a crack and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Maybe throw in the top 10
Curtin,
pick.
it's either
He's getting 30 every week.
well, but it's
So
either
your pick is Thriller and
Yeah.
your stumps is Michael
Michael Annie as the midfield. Michael Annie.
Michael Annie.
GWS.
That's me. Another team where, you know what, I went into this thinking
It'll be
there'll
more
be some.
stacked?
Well, they're still stacked. Like Tom Green will be 28, so I've put
Yeah.
Tom Green. Like it's
They've
the-
also still got kids that aren't even in yet that are high draft pick talent. Like
yeah, but you think there's more. There's not. Like we're talking like the Harry Roustons and the
yeah,
like
Peatling.
Lekalia, who's already in it. Who?
Peatling.
Peatling's not a high pick.
nah,
and
nah.
he's
He's
been
He's
in
an
and
academy
out.
kid, isn't he?
He's been in and out.
he got dropped on the
So
weekend.
there's less there than you think. Like if we'd done this 2 years ago, it would have been inundated.
Yeah.
Like, who
Yeah.
do we pick? So it's Tom Green will be 28. Sam Taylor will be 30. So you'd still assume he's going to be the best fullback in the
Yeah.
comp, unless it's Ben Mackay. I'd throw at the stumps. I mean, Finn Callahan's not a throw at the stumps, so I didn't put him in there. I just still think Tom will still be the guy, but it's close.
If I had to have a gun to the head, choose one.
Wow, he's going to burn his son again.
If I had to choose one, a bit speculative. Like if I was West Coast and I had money and picks who aren't great, I'd have the highest ceiling is Finn Callahan. I would have thought.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just because he
I don't
runs and
mind it.
bounces and
He's
kicks.
tall.
Chicks it and chases. He's good looking. He's
only
going to
we-
sell memberships,
If
Excel.
only
We all
we
know
had
that.
the Cats in the Cradle, we could just play that underneath.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I know. He just wants to make you proud, and every
No.
time.
Everyone knows I love Tom
Picking
Green,
someone
and there's
over
not
him.
many. But I reckon Callahan. I've said before Callahan.
I know you love him.
Yeah.
The throw at the stumps is harder than you think. I had toyed with Lekalia, but I haven't seen enough.
You think about? Did you consider Cadman?
He's the one.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Cadman will be 25. There's been glimpses without anything
Yeah, and again, he didn't
significant.
come in. He wouldn't have been number one pick if GWS didn't have a
No,
pick.
they
kind of thing.
zoned in on it.
Yeah.
They zoned in on it because they knew that he was
What would have
gonna-
he been picked? I don't know.
he
enough
probably
about
top
it.
five
maybe-
still.
yeah.
Top 5 still. Yeah, probably maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. So that's GWS. A little harder than I expected it to be. It's Tom or it's Finn, or you could throw Sam Taylor.
Yeah.
It's those 3 guys.
I like it.
And someone will go home and they'll get 3 first rounders for him along
Yeah.
the journey and
Yeah.
draft some other
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
Collingwood.
Not me.
Oh, this is me.
it's
Oh,
you.
well, this is one of the easiest ones of the night.
Yes.
Nick Dacos will be 26 years old in 5 years. Like, he's probably still going to be the best player.
So we just talk about Nick Dacos. So I know we're doing. Like, did you obviously we watched yesterday's
Can
game?
I ask you? You're connected. You're in the tent. There's a lot of people who want to know why would you take Will Phillips
Yeah.
when he was absolutely
He's
suffocating,
all over him.
and then everything
So,
shifted?
hard to really make up an excuse, but I think.
You
I-
tried.
And
that.
then they
try that.
asked
Here we
your,
go.
No,
your
no, but
mate
I'll
who you didn't
give
know
you-
was playing anymore to like,
Yeah.
can you just mind Nick Dacos?
No, but I think
Yeah,
if
cheers.
you looked at it, what they would be thinking in the coach's box, I'm not saying it's right
We're
or
home
wrong.
and hosed.
I would say they're up by 5 goals. I think Phillips might have been tiring, and they go righto. Liam Shields.
It's half time.
Hey,
Tiring.
maybe 3/4 time.
How tired? Yeah, well, how tired could he be? He's an AFL player.
No, he's chasing Nick Dacos, who's an elite
Yeah,
runner.
that'd be pretty tight.
Yeah, but come on, you'd be tired. I'm just trying to give you what they would think. Liam Shields is a good
Is
athlete.
he running like Nick out there?
Yeah,
Liam-
a little couple of shuffles.
Liam Shields, good athlete.
Liam
I
Shields
think
only a
maybe
few
they
years
thought
away.
Pup can go to Dacos,
Yeah.
do the same job, and
Yep.
they get fresh legs on.
Yep.
And Phillips was the late inclusion, so he's clearly not in there. They're obviously not doing everything right. That's what they would have thought. Hindsight, I was about to tweet at 3/4 time. Geez, the Clarkson narrative's going to be hard to find something this week.
Lucky he didn't.
I had the tweet written, and I was like, wow.
He's tent man over here. He
I
was
just
about to
backed-
go hard in the Clarko tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, backed out pretty quick. But that's what they would have thought. If Stevenson can do some, energy
It's just
and
looking
stuff
really
up forward.
bad for the tagging
Can we-
Yeah,
consultancy.
correct.
Just take him off at like 3/4 time.
No.
You'll be right.
If he rang the consultant,
Yeah.
tag for a day. It's not tag for 3/4. It's
Can-
tag for
so
a day.
Is there a
You're
live?
doing the day.
Is there a live extra layer of weekend access you can get?
Yeah.
So they called you. If Mickey,
That's
Yeah,
a
but-
premium. That's a
Dave,
premium
that's a
package.
premium.
we're thinking about taking Will off. No.
I've had 8 beers.
What would
Yeah.
you have said? You said leave him
And
on.
I'm on Dacos for unders.
Yeah.
In my mind, we all thought at the pub it was a bit weird that Phillips had
Yeah.
been subbed out.
Stumps.
So how many
Stumps.
throw the stumps was
This
Ed
will be
Allen?
good. Ed Allen.
They actually don't
Yeah.
have again.
Yeah.
They're like
There's
they're
not a lot
lower.
there.
Yeah, there's not a lot there.
No,
There's not a lot there.
So the premium
I do
package,
like
how
it.
many skivvies that come with? Yeah, 3 or 4 for your club.
Yeah,
Or more,
absolutely.
10?
Yeah, shit,
Yeah,
you get as many
yeah.
as you want.
Yeah. Next up is St Kilda.
Oof.
Ooh.
Well, actually, this
No,
was
was it?
a little better than I thought, and it's come down to 2, and one of them isn't Max King, although he's made the short list.
Watching them on the weekend, going, oh, just
The
what
two
we thought
are-
they were
I want to
gonna
have a
be.
chat about St Kilda once you name them.
The 2 are Wanganeen Miller and
Yeah.
Wilson,
Yeah.
and I've gone with Wanganeen Miller because he'll be 26, right
Yeah.
in smack bang in the prime. He's already shown plenty, so he's the guy. The other guy was Wilson.
Is there
as I mentioned.
is there midfield for Wanganeen Miller?
You'd
Or is
hope
he
so,
just
wouldn't
purely
it?
a half backer?
I like him in that spot.
Yeah.
In the same way I like McLeod, that was his best spot. You could play some wing.
Well, I
maybe.
use Enright and Birchall as a good example. Of like,
Yeah.
they probably could have
Best
gone and got,
halfbacks,
they
just
probably
say.
could have got the foot in the mid.
Yeah.
I forgot Enright was on their coaching staff when it flicked to the box. He was sitting next
Yeah.
to Ross.
Oh, was he? There you
Yeah.
go.
So I love Darcy Wilson. He'll be 23. He's such a
Yeah.
baby. The wild throw at the stumps It gets pretty gross
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
bottom there.
Who you got?
I mean, Filippo's the obvious one, but he's...
Yeah, he's playing well in the twos at the moment.
Is
I
he
have
playing
tracked
in the
his twos.
midfield?
He had 27 or something on the weekend.
Because he asked to get dropped, didn't he?
He's 24.
Yeah.
He'll be 24 at that point. Windhager will be
asked too many
26.
times. No, it won't be Windhager.
So I guess it's Filippo.
Yeah. No, I think Filippo's not a bad one.
I mean, you
What
might
about
suggest
Owens?
that Wilson is the stumps. He's had a pretty quiet year, Mitch
Yeah.
Owens, isn't he?
But he's, yeah,
a bit of
you can
regret.
have a dip.
He kicked too early on the weekend.
Yeah.
Is it third or fourth year? There's some years statistically where you have a dip.
Yeah.
I think it's third or fourth. I can't remember.
No, so I'm happy with Wangan and Miller. Wilson's probably then the throw at the stumps, and Filippo, you could argue, is a throw. I just haven't seen enough. We're heading to Jack Billings territory.
I've got one for us.
That's concerned.
No, someone's trying to ring me. I'm trying to say, don't ring me. I've got this shit on.
photos
Can I just do a quick? There's a couple of players like this, those stars that were tough inside midfielders.
You can't get near
Tough.
it.
And I think of like Matt Prittis, for example, one of Brownlow, genuine tough star. Loved playing with Pritter, gave it everything. Couldn't go to half forward, so then Pritter with a contract left on the year, finished up, done.
Yeah.
Jack Steele.
Yeah.
If you're sitting in the coach's box, you see Jack Steele at full forward, like he did 0 centre bounces at three-quarter time. Their midfield was Henry, Windy, and one other little sort of whippet. Can't remember, but Steele was gone, and he has been gone all year. I'm thinking, Pritter, of course, could still get the games when he played inside and get 30 and da-da-da. But I think he's slow, and there's no option to go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit like Fife, when if they can't get the 30 inside, then you go, right, now what?
And Brad Crouch is just something's weird's going on
Yeah,
there.
he needs to come back in, I think, just for a bit of experience.
I feel like he's going to be at another club. Like the way it's going.
Oh, well, you'd think so.
Doesn't seem
or,
like
or finishing up, I suppose.
Yeah.
But anyway, I have concerns about Steele, and I love both those. Yeah, those
No, you're right.
tough
If you
midfielders.
don't have another string,
What's your second? What's your fallback when you're in trouble? Yeah,
Gold Coast.
This'll be interesting.
I've got Gold Coast.
oh, this is going to be fascinating.
Well,
is there a lot in the cupboard?
Yeah, there is. Yeah. There is a lot. I'm just going to get the list up quickly, but I've gone Big Walter. I think he's going to just
Just
going to absolutely destroy the competition.
Like it.
He does more when you look at it. Like this, every second forward in each team, you almost at times go, they could be dropped any second. Like, haven't seen him for 2 weeks. I feel like he's been in the competition for more than 10 games. Walter, big, strong, got an appetite for it. And the second one, I think Noah Anderson's still not at his peak.
No. So those are the two that you could have picked.
They're the two.
You've gone with Walter.
Yeah, and the throw at the stumps.
Big Mac.
Humphrey?
Mac Daddy.
Yeah,
Big Mac.
Yeah.
Big
I
Mac.
was going to go Jeffrey is a real throw at the stumps.
Joel Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know his age. Had 30 last week.
Yeah, I know. I like him a bit.
Yeah.
That's a wild
Yeah,
one.
that's a
26
wild
years
one.
old, yeah.
That's a wildie.
How old is he? Let's
How
have a
wild
look.
are we going?
Well,
That-
yeah,
that's
mate, I
super
got bloody-
wild.
What did I get pulled over
Joel
the barrel
Jeffrey
for?
is 22. So,
Arthur Jones.
27.
okay. Yeah, all right. There's something.
Just keep an eye on him because I reckon some of those players that don't have a big name, when it clicks for
Hey,
them.
that's why we invented the throw at the
So,
stumps.
like,
That
for
is true.
example.
We didn't invent it for the, Bontempelli.
Yeah. No, so Sexton, for example.
Yeah, but
was,
then I threw out Arthur Jones.
One of the
Bloody-
greatest
come on,
players of all
please.
time.
Yeah, so Sexton, for example, was, I
Might
think,
still be good.
Champion Data rated Sexton the worst player in the comp for the last
Did
3
they?
years. No, zero output, whatever it was.
And
The,
he's moved to
the
half-back
highest
as
number,
well.
whatever they do. Now he's gone a half back, he's getting 30s, he's comfortable, he looks good. If Jeffrey at 22 can run around and get, doesn't look like, but once you get comfortable getting 30s, all of a sudden you're a household name and
Okay.
you're
I love the
confident.
throw. I love the throw.
And there'll be the new branding next year and everything, so he'll
Bit
probably
to
pop with
choose
that.
from.
Yeah,
Bit to
no, there
choose
is a
from.
bit. There is
Yeah.
actually a fair bit
Joel
there.
Jeffrey.
So that was a good little Hail Mary.
Swerve. I
Yeah.
don't mind it. There's not many podcasts talking about Joel
Joel-
Jeffrey.
yeah, yeah.
This is what the people come for.
I'm going to get Joel Jeffrey's stats up while we.
Have we had a siren? We have had a siren.
There we
there
go.
it is.
It's funny, the ones with more seem to be less to talk about.
Yeah.
Hawthorn's next up, so that
Who's got
is
this? If it's-
me.
no, I was gonna
Again,
say,
this
if
is
it's Dave,
the-
we're going to need to extend
This
immediately.
is the too many choices
Nah.
category.
I don't think so.
No,
I
it's
think
not. Number one is clear.
We're
It's
just
we're
quietly
28-year-old
working
Will
away.
Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who you go?
The Wizard.
Well, Nick, what?
Oh, I love the Wizard.
Mate, have a ping. Yeah, why
A
not?
dead set love him. Like I was unsure. The little small forwards just get me a bit giddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, they're good to watch.
Little nuggety bastard, isn't he?
If your team's got like a really good small forward who has a bit of chirp, games are about 10% more fun.
Can you imagine that forward line? Ginnivan
The Wizard.
and the Wiz.
Yeah.
Just talking absolute shit. McDonald looks like he's got a bit of chat too. He's
Well,
always doing something funny.
everybody
Lot of
chirping.
chirp. I reckon Mackenzie could talk
Yeah,
too.
and my big fella, Marbs,
Big
he
Marbs.
is suave down there.
Mitch
Two
Lewis will
phones.
be
Oh, two
coming in.
phones. Oh, God, the boys.
The other one I had in, I've always sort of loved the way he's gone about it, is Cam Mackenzie. Like, I really think he's got
He's your throw at the
levels.
stumps.
No, he's the other one I had of him on the first line.
What?
Throw at the stumps. I gave you the throw at the stumps. Threw in a 24-year-old big Henry Hustwaite.
Oh, Husty. Jeez, that is a...
Big, bad, bustling midfielder.
Even I'm not sure he can throw that one. in.
Yeah, that's right. But I really like Cam Mackenzie. I think like he'll be right in that
He
mix
kicks
by
it
the
better
time
than I
he comes
thought.
up.
I don't think he's playing great football. I think he's been
No,
lucky
but
enough
that's
to get
what
subbed off a few
that's
times.
what makes me. I know there's levels to go, but I've seen enough sort of.
Him and Ward were going
glimpses.
hammer and tong, and who was going to get the subs jersey a few times.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Mackenzie
I think-
better than Ward.
You can't have Mackenzie as the number one guy. It's clearly Will.
Oh, it's clearly Will Day.
So I had to look at the stats from the twos
Yep.
for Hawthorn
Yes.
just to see what's kicking around.
Yeah, look, he sent him to me.
yeah,
With a
right.
couple
But
of-
it's not bad.
I was
Like
very excited.
Morrison had 34, Mitchell had 33, Hustwaite had 32, Ward had 32, and McGuinness had 31.
Yeah, right.
Like that's a fair bit of depth.
It's stacked.
But when they come into play AFL, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
not.
Good program. Box Hill gets a lot of mature guys too, don't they?
They get a few,
It's
yeah.
a pretty consistently good twos program, isn't it?
Yeah.
Box
So you
Hill.
throw at the stumps is...
Well, it's
Husky.
Henry Hustwaite.
Husky,
Oh,
mate.
Husky.
What are you talking about, mate?
I would have thrown with Watson. That would have been
Yeah.
my throw at the stumps.
Yeah, okay,
I
we
love
do.
the wizard.
How often
You
is
know,
small forwards the best player
he
in the
just,
team?
he's actually tougher than you like not tougher than you think.
Yeah.
Get your head in there all the time when you're small.
He's
Can't
so-
be
He's
easy.
thick, isn't he?
Oh, jeez, I love him.
Yeah.
He's going to get shit mixed a lot too. It's going to be good fun.
Yeah. Next up, we've got Geelong. Oh, that's me again.
I've done two. I've done two.
You've done Geelong?
No.
So this one is a bit of a tough one. So they do have more than you'd think
Oh, really?
coming through,
But
but
it's all the
not
same.
none of them are going to be the superstars.
Yeah.
So they'll be the best player in the team, but these aren't like.
Well, your
ripping
job
the
is to
comp
pick
apart.
one, Nicholas.
Well, I went with Toby Conway,
Toby Conway.
Oh, okay.
the ruck.
Hey, Max Holmes.
Yeah,
Well, yes,
don't
I've got Max Holmes / Toby
get
Conway.
stuffed, Max Holmes.
Well, you got to pick, mate. You got to be a bit. He's been around. Everybody knows Max Holmes.
That's
I've
what
actually got Max Holmes / Toby Conway here, but I went with Toby Conway. He's probably got those sort of. I want to say best ruck in the comp, but not the like running ruckman, just the big burly ruckman who can rip
You
apart
reckon?
stoppages. I think he does. I've seen enough in little
Next-
glimpses.
This. We need to just rein Nick in next year because I don't
g-
think he's read.
No.
The script.
Well, you want me to go Max Holmes? Well, okay, we'll just do a step. Max
Yeah,
Holmes, who's
so you're
probably
supposed
the
to
best
So
player
Conway
now,
would
is
be a
gonna
good.
the best.
Conway would be a really
Stumps.
good,
Yeah.
really
Good
good
throw
throw
at
at
the
the
stumps.
stumps.
So you're
Yeah, but
supposed
then
to
I can't
pick
talk
who you
about,
actually think
O'Shea
it's
Mullen.
Mullen.
I knew that's where you were going.
Is that who we went last year?
No, that was
No,
just
he
a
was
random
under pressure.
topic.
Wasn't it?
That was just-
No, it was under most pressure.
That's right.
he
An
left.
Irishman no one
He
had ever
left
heard
the
of.
county. You know, I felt a bit chuffed the other week when I was at the ground, and the game kind of changed when they threw him into the middle,
Oh,
and then
God.
on a wing, and then he coughed up about 3 different turnovers.
Oh, that was one.
But I don't know. I like Toby Conway. Or
Great
or Bailey Smith. Is it
Yeah.
Bailey Smith Geelong
yes.
still
No, yeah,
kicking
that's-
There's
around?
absolutely zero chance Bailey Smith is at the Bulldogs next year.
It
Yeah.
does seem
Zero,
like-
nada,
He-
none.
He's not in the country, is he? He's in like
It'll be Geelong.
Italy.
So he's here to throw at the stumps. 'Cause you
Ocean,
can't
no,
do that.
I did actually like Connor O'Sullivan.
Yes,
sort of
that's
throw
the
at
one.
stumps.
I
Yeah.
like that kid.
So he's a big core.
He's
big
going to
key.
be a stud.
Well, he was drafted as a key backman.
Gave
because
him
he
Joel
ran-
Selwood's number too.
Yeah, so
Always a
you know,
sign. But he
got
can
to
play
stand.
wing. He can play a bit everywhere.
Well, that's where he's got.
But Geelong, there's not a lot there.
No, there's not. There's
Clark,
there's a lot of
Tanner
like
Bruin.
slightly above mid-tier guys. There's
Yeah.
no like superstars.
Yeah, I mean, considering the era they've come off, you can see why.
I reckon
Yeah.
next year is.
Jai Clark.
Yeah, Jock, but
Clark.
I.
Will Hawk be there?
In 5 years.
No, next year. Like next year
I
might
read
be
a stat the other day that he's won 70% of his games.
Duncan as well.
He's played like 380
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, all right.
Like that's absurd.
How do you
I asked you that today, didn't I? Who's the number one winningest player in the competition?
James Jordan.
I told you that.
No, you didn't have that conversation with me. I just saw it online. We haven't had that conversation. It must have been someone
No,
else.
we did it in the studio when you walked out the door today.
No, I didn't have that. No, that wasn't me. It wasn't me.
You-
Guarantee it. I
Melbourne.
definitely did not have that conversation.
We're on to
with you.
Melbourne. Who's got Melbourne?
I think you definitely did.
I didn't.
Because you didn't go. You went Duncan.
Maybe it was Tommy.
Nah.
I definitely didn't have that conversation with you. Somebody else. Maddie?
Nah.
Can we cut this
Ryan
out?
Daniels.
This is
Going through the
fascinating.
list. This is
podcasting.
great listening.
Okay, so Melbourne.
Yeah.
No, don't cut that out. It stays in.
It's
Don't,
not
We don't edit.
Don't,
It's
no,
not.
don't edit, mate.
We
It
let it
didn't,
ride.
it didn't happen. Okay, Melbourne is tough. Melbourne is really tough. Clary will be 31, nearly
Clary's not even their best player these
nearly
days.
32. So I'm crossing him out. Petrarca will be 33, and based on his audio today, might be retired tomorrow. Cozzy Pickett will be 28. I don't really feel great about that one. Van Rooyen will be 26. I don't feel great about that one.
It's similar to Geelong vibes, isn't it? It's a lot of like maybe
Even
mid,
less.
slightly above mid.
So I'm going to go... I feel like my choice for the best is actually a throw at the stumps, and it's Windsor, who I really like. He'll only be 24, but I feel like that's a worry if you throw at the stumps is actually the one I'm putting into the main spot. My throw at the stumps will be Van Rooyen. You could talk me into Rivers. A throw, a really far away distance throw at the stumps is the bloke they call Silk, Judd McVie. They love him.
Oh,
They love him, yeah.
It's Windsor.
Melbourne are heading down the path of Richmond and West Coast, I'm telling you.
There's nothing in here. While looking at their list, though, do you know there's a bloke on their list called Will Ferrell? Like it's Will Ferrell, but with a V. How's that?
No, I didn't know that.
No, funnily enough.
I had to write it down.
And their
Will
depth's typically been pretty good.
There you go.
The D's, like they've won premierships, I'm sure, in the VFL a few years running or round the mark.
Yeah.
But they're even struggling this year in the two, so their depth is dead.
So it's Windsor, and then it's Van Rooyen.
Jeez, they're in some trouble.
Yeah, and I mean I like both those guys, but there should be more to choose from.
There's not a solid like, oh, it's that guy. Or
Well,
this guy.
they're solid. I mean, Gawn will be in the retirement home at that point. You know, like Petrarca is 33. Like it's.
Yeah, no, mark it down. They're following Richmond. What do you got, Nicholas?
Next up is Carlton.
Oh, that's me. So another one where if you're looking at youth coming through, there ain't a lot of it. Like there's some okay guys. There's the Lockie Cowans, Ollie Hollands, those types of dudes.
Yeah.
There's some.
But they've gone chips in by getting Chera and by getting...
They've spent all their stuff there.
Whoever
When you
else
have
they've-
two keys like that, you just have to go.
So
chips
Sam
in.
Walsh should be
Yeah.
28, so it's Sam Walsh is the answer. Wiedering will be 31 at that point. Kern will be 32, so I've just pushed them slightly over the mark. The throw at the stumps isn't young. Well, he is young, but he's not like going to be
You're
24.
going my mate Shin Cotter.
No, I'm going
Tagger.
Tag for a day.
DK.
Maybe.
Tom DeConey.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
fine.
that's good.
So,
yeah.
high-
I
How
remember
old?
the money they were talking last year about him to sign.
Yeah,
It's
one of our.
huge.
He'll be 29.
Astronomical.
He's always been one of our boys, I reckon. TDK. We would honour him.
Nah, I don't want him.
Oh,
That
right.
went from Sydney.
You can have him. Yeah,
They went from Sydney outlaying a lot of money from Tom DeConey to getting Brody Greenwich for free, basically.
yeah,
didn't
and
it?
and also
Worked out well.
Hamling for free as well.
Yeah, that's right.
They just topped up with old How
James
good's-
Jordan for free.
James Jordan.
Yeah.
How good's Grundy going?
Really well.
I didn't think
I
he
was
had this in
saying
him.
to someone this morning about how if last year if you'd said to Grundy, right, it's not working here at Melbourne, we're going to present you with 17 scenarios.
Yeah.
Number one would have been moving to Sydney,
Yeah,
living
yeah.
in Bondi,
Yeah,
and playing with
yeah,
Errol and
yeah,
Chad and
yeah.
Isaac. Like,
Being
on a
3
small
games
ground,
clear on top of the
and
ladder.
Dean Cox being your assistant coach advising you on how to get
What a
better or be
gift.
consistent.
what a gift. Like, you pick out any other scenario, it's not as good as that.
No,
No.
For
no.
him. It's worked out beautifully.
Yeah, he's done very well.
Come to think of it, there's no better scenario for any position, any player.
No.
Hey, you're going to Sydney, cool to do this and play with these people. Yeah,
What
cool.
this
Yeah.
did teach
Here's your
me,
midfield.
what
Oh,
this did teach me
it's
about
nice.
Carlton is they should be up there for the next 5
5 years, yeah.
After that, there's not much coming.
They should have
through.
been one in the next 5 years.
They should.
Yeah.
They really should. Like based on this, even Wiedering being 31 and Kerno 32, that's not ancient.
Yeah.
And Mackay will be 32. So their best players have a good 5-year window here.
Yep.
So yeah, they should win one.
They will have to.
Can you imagine when they win one?
Oh, no, thanks.
My
North.
best,
I
my best
love it.
mate's a Carlton fan.
Yeah.
He is going to be
But it was no different to Richmond when he
awful.
won. No, but
Just
Richmond
awful.
turned the joint
No, I
upside
reckon
down.
Blues are worse. Aren't they?
I think they're both. No, I don't think either are
I mean,
worse.
you've
I think
lived
it's
in
I love it.
Victoria. Who would be the most
Oh,
annoying
Lygon
supporter
Street would
group?
get burnt down.
North Melbourne, again, this is another
Well,
one
this
where
would be interesting.
it's an interesting one.
Very difficult.
But I settled on George Wardlaw.
How old
That's
will
sort of-
LDU be?
LDU will be too old. He was in the sort of 28, 29. But I still, I don't know.
I still reckon Wardlaw will be
I
better
was
than
still
him.
working Wardlaw
You
would be
reckon?
better.
He's
Yeah.
good yesterday, Wardlaw.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know,
was.
LDU just doesn't quite, and maybe it's just a North Melbourne thing, but it just doesn't feel like he's quite.
He'll be 30. He'll be 30.
He'll be 30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
So that's a little bit.
All right,
past
I'm
it.
happy with Wardlaw.
George Wardlaw will be 25.
What about Suv? Suv's a bit older than me, think.
Yeah,
isn't he?
he'll be about 30 as well too.
Yeah.
He'll be on the back end of it.
Just quickly on the whole, I tell you, the Smokey Dersma too. I just don't know what he's going to be, but
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to click. George Wardlaw came over against West Coast, played really well against West Coast in the last 3 quarters, had 10 clearances in the last 2. And as a young kid, as I spoke about Joel Jeffrey, whoever it was, it's just that one game that it clicks and you feel like you're a part of it and your actual performance affects
you have an impact.
You're impacting the game. Whereas first year, second year players, a lot of the time you're out there going, look, I've had 15 touches, but
I don't know.
let's be honest.
contributed.
I'm player 18 to 22.
Sheasel said, I've had 36 and
Yeah.
he lost by 120.
But
so.
Wardlaw's, I think, just looking at the last 2 weeks, but also he's got a fair reputation.
Yeah.
I reckon he now feels comfortable in there.
Yeah.
Just looking at it, I reckon he looks comfortable.
I'm
feels
one of the
comfortable.
guys.
Yeah,
I'm one of the guys.
I need to play well to impact the result of what's happening today.
You didn't consider
Yeah.
Shees?
Yeah, he's on the list too, but I just think he's Wardlaw's a more solid bet because he's coming.
Is Wardlaw not the Sarong?
No.
Isn't that the same
No.
resume you'd expect?
Oh,
The
in
one
terms of
Brownlow, 5 All-Australians and 3 BNFs.
Yeah.
That's what you're thinking, right? That's where he's going to be?
Yeah. I think he's a little bit more.
What, unsung hero kind of?
No.
vibes?
Maybe a little bit 10 to 15% more power and speed than Sarong
Okay.
through stoppages and stuff. Sarong's really quick and congested, bang.
Yeah.
I think Wardlaw can maybe get a bit of Connor Rosie, wave through a bit of.
Really?
No. Just in traffic, just wave through it a little bit. Yeah.
I don't see that. I see him as a much slower player.
Yeah, no,
That's
but
fine.
it's not
It'll
speed.
slow down
but
for
just
him.
in congestion, I can just see he's going to be able to ski slope. You know, the old just sail him through them.
So the throw of the stumps. I went
Slalom through them.
throw of the stumps. This is a bit of a romantic pick, and it's just like an optimist. You hope you would love to see this.
Yeah, this would be some player we've never heard of.
Well, no, it's Will Phillips.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine after all this, it suddenly clicks.
That's not happening.
What are you talking about, mate?
Mate, he was running
not
like
while
you.
Clarko's
He was
there.
running like you
Do
yesterday.
you know what would
Clarko's
be
there.
the ultimate stitch up? If Collingwood give Will Phillips 5 coaches' votes. That would be brilliant.
Wouldn't it just?
Him going off the field.
That
opening
would
the
be
game up
awesome.
for us.
Wouldn't it just?
And he'll only be
Will
27.
Phillips is your throw at the
Well,
start.
it's
let
not
him go.
romantic optimism,
Let him
mate.
go. It's becoming bullying now, and I don't like
Yeah,
it.
what's going on?
Do you
Richmond.
know who Will Dawson is the one I like for them?
Yeah.
Big,
Richmond.
But what they call him,
He's a,
sexy or something? Or did
Do they? Sexy Dawson.
I don't know. They said something. I heard his shoulder the other day.
Yeah,
his
big
nickname.
sexy.
Anyway.
Richmond.
Oh, that's me.
Have you had
No.
This is my last one. So, this is Dower. It's Dyer and Dower. Bolton will be 30. It's probably him.
So it's basically not there yet. Right?
Bolton will be 29.
No.
It's
No.
probably
Well,
not
will
him.
Bolton, will Dragon Bolton, in all honesty, will be there in 5 years? Or do Richmond find themselves in a real trough in 2 years and they go, geez, we've got to do some
I
things?
think he sticks.
Still there.
Taranto will be 31.
Nah.
Yeah, it's not those guys.
So I give it to Bolton by default.
Josh Smiley.
Well, the answer probably is whoever they take
they're
with
not
pick
there
2
yet.
or 3 this year, right?
They could get picked one.
I was
still.
going to say, I reckon
They were in the
there's a chance.
bottom.
I reckon there's a chance they still end up with the 1.
Yeah.
There are 3 kids I really like on their list that I still need to see way more
Yeah.
of. So these are my throws at the stumps.
Oh.
My one that I'm picking is Kane McAuliffe. Love the size.
Yeah.
He looks like a goer.
Good role player.
Nick's never heard of him.
No, I've got him on my fantasy team.
Yeah. All right.
He'll be 24. Tyler Sonsi.
That's the one I kind of
I do
like.
still like him, but I need to see something. And I do like Tom Brown.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good user
Kicks
of the
it nice.
footy.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 that I think are worth putting time into.
But
Man,
they're not
it is bad.
They're not
Yeah.
your best 5.
It is
probably,
really bad.
if you're competing.
Quick chat about Richmond. Firstly, how cool was the pulling power of Dusty?
Yeah.
Amazing.
90-odd thousand.
Yeah.
But are we disappointed with the shit they served up?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's disgraceful. And I love that Hawthorn came out and just went, I don't care about your ceremony.
Who
We're
was
just
it?
going to play
Was it,
professional football and flog you.
Jath's 50th?
Yeah,
Was
did
it?
you see him try and
Yeah.
lift him up? They did that to Gaffey. Gaffey had played 50 and they snuck him behind him and lifted him up really quickly. Snap, snap, snap. Andrew Gaff gets carried off for his 50th game. It's not a bad stitch up. They should do it more often around people. So yeah, that was disappointing.
They're not capable.
No. Did you see anything in Dusty's chat, or was that just Dusty's chat?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Next
I
year, I don't know.
I think it's all I said this
All
too.
cards
so
are on the table.
everything's possible.
Yeah.
You know, Sydney, Gold Coast, retires, plays
Yeah.
for Richmond, moves to New Zealand and plays rugby
Yeah,
league.
yeah.
I don't know. Like, no one
Up the
knows.
wire.
Star signing of the
Nobody
new
knows.
Christchurch team.
Yeah, nobody has a clue. But yeah, it was pretty ordinary. That first goal when he kicked it and you were like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe this is one of those.
And then
I've got one left in me. I'm going to put up 4 goals, have 25,
Yeah.
and you're going to talk about this game forever.
He had one left in him, just that one
just that
goal.
one
And he's
moment.
like, okay.
As at Hawthorn, so I was like, Dusty 300.
Run into a bit of a buzzsaw.
Yeah, you don't.
I tipped Richmond. I
Did
got
ya?
caught up in it.
Yeah,
Oh,
five
no.
out
I was like,
of
they'll have one for him.
Sydney. I'm assuming it's his,
mate, that is me.
Ooh.
Come over here,
This'll
come
be-
to Papa.
This is going to be interesting.
Sydney Swans, best player
Who wins it?
in 5 years.
Errol.
Chad Warner.
Oh, what he's playing for Fremantle or West Coast, bro.
Well, you just said pick him how you
Yeah,
see him because
assume.
otherwise you'd have Chad Warner at Fremantle being their best
True,
player.
you'd assume.
Pick him as you see him.
Why him over Errol?
Errol's outside and it's nice.
Errol's
And,
everywhere.
I get it.
Yeah.
I love that he doesn't want to come
He
off the
starts
ground.
outside.
Hey, we're dealing with 2 superstars.
Yeah.
Remember when I thought I was going to get a price on him for the Brownlow this year and
Errol?
he opened
Yeah.
up third favourite? I thought I was going to sneakily get 40s or something.
What's he at now?
Nah, the horse is
Very
bolted.
good.
There's too many. Heaney stealing votes. Even Grundy's starting to steal votes. So Chad Warner, I think on the weekend he tried to do a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
At times, a little bit of the Harley Reeds where you're like,
Yeah.
could have just given the handball, but tried to run and bounce, take it on, whereas you could see some of the Sydney players saying, come on, mate, just fucking give it to me. But I love that because
That's what he is.
he's the game breaker in my eyes.
He needs to be that.
Because Warner,
When it's bad, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because the good is worth it.
Warner, the ball, someone has to get to him.
Yeah.
Whereas Warner gets the ball in
Yeah.
congestion, if that makes
So
sense.
you mean Errol is the...
Errol's the one that gets it on the outside a lot of the time, whereas Warner.
He is tough though, Errol.
I'm not saying he's not, but he's playing wing.
I don't like it when people don't love Errol.
No, I love it, but he gets back in defence and he gets love him.
Yeah.
He's a second. In we're talking about.
And he's probably, other than Collingwood,
I was going to say
he's
yeah.
probably number 1 for every other
for
team.
15 other clubs. Yeah,
Yeah.
But I just went Chad, and it's hard not to have a throw at the stumps.
Who is the stumper?
Nah, well, it's off the weekend. It's
Oh,
hard
the
not to.
Marty party.
The big party.
Big and Marty.
Timing's
What a
everything.
party.
Timing's
Why'd they
everything.
bench him?
Yeah, what do we
Yeah.
make of that?
Oh, disgraceful.
Yeah.
That's the horse just not letting everyone have fun.
No.
Let us have fun, horse.
It's like
Look,
Clarko all over again.
What are you doing?
Clear out. Let Fev get his
No.
get his
Why?
Did you
goal.
see
No.
his- Did you see his heat map?
Well,
Go and
yeah,
have a
he was
look
just
at
that
Joel
one little
Amati's-
dot.
There's a goal square, and then there's this little area right in front of it,
yeah.
and it's just all there.
He turned the game. He
He
didn't have a
barely
touch. He
moved.
didn't have a possession the first quarter.
No.
Errol's 21 for the Brownlow, by the way.
Yeah.
Right.
So Chad's ahead of him at 13.
And Heaney-
he's favourite at
Yeah.
375.
I went and I didn't watch that game, but I was keeping up on
Yeah, I watched it
score.
all,
and I watched the first quarter, and Adelaide were winning. I was like, geez, they're on here.
Yeah.
And then about an hour later, I checked, and Joel Amati had like 8 goals. I was
Oh,
like,
mate.
what
Yeah.
the hell
Yeah.
has happened?
Yeah.
No,
I was so annoyed that I couldn't watch.
It was crazy. And to get 10, he had one opportunity, and it was Logan McDonald
Oh,
who
he was
had
trying
the
to
ball.
find him?
He was trying to sort of get it to him.
Yeah.
I
And
thought there was space.
Yeah,
There was
just
space.
but just if it was Goulden or Warner
would've
or
got it.
someone who had the footy, not a
Yeah.
big key,
Yeah.
there was space everywhere to hit somewhere for him to lead into. But Logan was trying to do the right thing, like
Yeah.
trying to find him, but just skill level and all that sort of.
So
thing.
we talked about Grundy being in the best situation in the world. Mate, if you're a Marty and you're Logan McDonald, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Errol,
Yeah.
you beauty, Heaney.
yeah.
And Mills and Parker aren't even playing.
Yeah,
Like,
this is true.
It's going to...
Do they get back in?
They're so fun to watch.
Mills does.
Yeah,
Mills
Parker's,
does.
he's,
Mills-
Parker's been playing.
Mills
oh, no,
absolutely
No,
does.
he
Mills
murdered
is
that
the
guy.
captain. He might play at half-back.
Yeah,
who
he'll do
knows?
something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he can put him anywhere.
West Coast.
I got West Coast. Well,
this would
actually,
be tough.
Well,
So,
Oh, this would be tough. So we talked about Errol being better
yeah,
than-
here's another
yeah.
club. It's Dacos, of course, Elijah Hewitt, and
yeah,
then
and then Harley.
so Harley Reid's the one clearly, and then the throw at the stump. Someone hasn't played this year. They showed a little bit of spunk, I suppose,
it's
last
Elijah,
year.
yeah.
It's Hewitt.
Yeah.
This would have been one of the easiest ones to do.
Yeah, it was. There was a couple of. We had actually a conversation over a few beers yesterday.
Who is it?
Who would you rather, if you were West Coast right now? And I know recency bias, whatever. Wardlaw and Reid together, or the Jinby Hewitt?
Oh, Wardlaw and Reid.
Oh, so hold on.
'Cause that's what the trade
Wardlaw
was,
on his
wasn't it?
own,
Yeah.
or
Or the
two
Jinby
guys?
Hewitt, which was the trade, wasn't
Was
it?
it the trade?
I think it was.
Oh, was it next year's first and this year's first?
No, it was two. It was a.
So it was
two
down
years
to
of-
pick 8, and
Yeah.
then
I'd have to look to see if that is the trade.
Yeah.
If that is the trade,
It's Reid and Wardlaw. What are you doing, mate?
No. So Harley's with Jinby and Hewitt.
Oh, so you said Reid and so Wardlaw and
Wardlaw and Reid,
'Cause it's just
Harley,
one of him?
just the
or
one. Okay.
Reid with.
Gotcha,
or
gotcha,
Jinby
I'm on
and
board.
Hewitt.
Yeah.
So two. I'm still taking
and
the
Reid.
two, but man, it's tough.
I think I'm going Wardlaw. I'm
yeah?
in love with the guy, mate.
It would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm taking
imagine
that.
going to the footy. Jimby doesn't really excite your supporters, really. And Hewitt's been
You're
injured.
low on Jimby.
No, but imagine
I don't
sitting
know what
there.
that is.
Imagine sitting there as a youngster,
Yeah.
and as a fan, and seeing Wardlaw
Yeah.
and Reeds just wandering into the centre
It
bounce.
is pretty,
pretty handy.
it is pretty imposing.
Port Adelaide.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide, that's me. Connor Rosie's going to be the best player in 5 years. He's going to be 29, same age as Sam Walsh at Carlton.
Yep.
Of course, Butters was stiff. The Hornet was stiff. But, hey, I don't deal with second place. It's going to be Connor Rosie.
She's sure it's Rosie.
Certain. Absolutely certain. And my throw at the stumps
I'd take Zach, by the way.
is Jace Burgoyne.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it.
Just if you follow the
Love
blood
him.
the bloodlines.
Yep.
Silk played till he was 70.
Yep.
Peter, his dad, was a star.
Yep.
Had to tell someone that it wasn't Sean's kid the other day. That was an interesting conversation.
Sean's kid's coming through. I
Yeah,
think, hasn't
Sean's
they?
got 4 kids or 5.
Jeez.
4, I think.
Yep.
And they're getting. It's funny. They're getting bigger and bigger, obviously.
Yeah.
But like I haven't been home to Hawthorn for what it'd be 10 years or whatever. And those kids were 6 then, so they must be 16, 17, like big
Yeah.
size, big fellas.
Good
And
father, son's coming through.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of it. Where's and one of them. Where's Erin Phillips fit into the family as well? She's her auntie.
He married Aaron's sister.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
The
Fair bit of
bloodlines
talent
are
through those
strong.
Yeah,
bloodlines.
Aaron Phillips'
Yeah.
dad was a megastar.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
sample.
The bloodlines are very strong.
Very. If they went, I was talking about today. If they went through the mounting yard, through the ring,
yeah.
you're getting some pretty
Well,
big bids on it.
This
Yep.
is the Mackay Divas.
Winks.
file.
This is Winks's.
Almost
Yeah.
like the hot housing Chinese. Remember the Chinese athletes? Like,
Yeah,
they used
they
to
were-
try
yeah.
to get
Genetically
athletes.
match
Oh,
them
did
up.
they?
Yeah, well, Yao Ming's a product of this.
Is
Yeah.
he?
So his mum and dad were national basketball team players, and the Chinese government were like, "You two are getting married.
Yeah.
And
It
you're
works,
going to
it'll
have some
work."
kids."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it worked.
Jeez.
Produced Yao Ming, which revolutionised basketball in that
Yeah.
country.
There you go.
There you
All
go.
right, let's wrap it
Not
up.
saying
with-
that's what happened with the Burgoynes.
Yeah.
the South Australian government got involved. Brisbane.
I've got Brisbane.
you did have a strong
yeah,
finish, didn't
I
you?
got Brisbane as
yeah.
well.
How did that work?
I think it could just be a double Ashcrofting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Levi.
I'm looking forward to seeing young Ashcroft return. To be honest, like
Same. It's
he-
pretty soon, right?
Yeah,
A week or two.
yeah, he
They
was-
need something interesting, Brisbane. They're,
he was robbed of his.
Hard to
He was
watch.
robbed. You know, we think that Harley Reid and them were hard done by.
yeah.
Like they did an action that got him suspended.
Yeah.
Ashcroft blew his knee out.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel sorry for him.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward. I think he needs to be that spark. I know Berry's doing okay in the midfield at the moment, and
Yeah.
Dunkley's just being Dunkley-ish.
Yeah.
Not-
McCluggage just been pretty good.
McCluggage,
lately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Lachie
Dunkley's not
Neal's
even been
been-
full Dunkley.
There hasn't. Yeah, no. But there's no one's doing full anything.
Yeah.
So maybe Ashcroft can
Yeah,
spark
nah,
it
you
up a
need
little
Ashcroft,
bit.
you need
Yeah, I'm looking for and the
then the
brother
other one,
too. I think
Levi.
I'm doubling down.
Levi.
Yeah,
He looks good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doubling down. The player I did want to check the age of is
Kyle Oman.
No,
Oh,
no.
that would have been a decent throw at the stumps.
Eric
Yeah, that would have
Hipwood.
been it. Bruce,
Oh, Bruce Revel.
Oh, the Breville.
The
the Breville mate.
What do they
Bruce.
call him? Is it the Breville, the toaster or
Yeah,
something?
the toaster,
eh?
like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sandwich,
yeah.
mate, sandwich
I-
press.
yeah, yeah.
Just love how the crowd's bought in already.
Oh yeah. I love that. That's one of my favourite low key things. You put like Kruger.
Yeah.
Kruger. I love it.
Anyway,
I'm always
What's
it's-
is it the wolf on Adam the Sard
Ange
kick?
Christou.
Yeah, woof.
Yeah.
It's-
I'm all in for that. Every
Um,
club should have one of those.
He's 20.
What was it? Remember
Hawthorn
the
got
lady who used to ring the bell whenever Peter Bell
Peter
got
Bell
a
would
touch?
get it. Yeah.
very good
That's
too.
great.
Luke Bruce from first year got bruised
Yeah.
all the time.
I'm all in for that.
One of the funniest prank calls I've ever heard was a bloke that doesn't deliberately rang SEN and like, I just don't understand it. So I'm outraged, and in an age where we're bullying kids and all this sort of stuff, why everybody boos Luke Bruce? He's a beautiful boy. Yeah, no. It's Bruced. You get it? Bruced. Like they go, yeah.
You're taking offence to his offence.
He's very, very good.
Very
that
good.
guy.
Righto, that's us done. All right, I'll write the order and see if anyone wants to get it. So it's descending, so most to least.
Okay.
Essendon, the Doggies, Freo, Adelaide, GWS, Pies, St Kilda, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, Geelong, Melbourne, Carlton, North, Richmond, Sydney, West Coast, Port, and Brisbane. And I'll give you a hint. It's a statistic. So most to the least,
Thanks for that.
most to least in like an on-ground statistic.
For this season.
Yes.
Is it like meters gained?
I'm gonna go kicking efficiency.
No.
What is
It's
it?
much more basic.
Marks.
No.
Kicks.
No.
Handballs.
Handballs. There we go.
Yeah.
Most to least handballs to the end of round 13.
There you go.
All right, this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show, the 2-minute warning. We'll see you tomorrow for the mailbag. Catch you then.